Put the things you can control in order. Repair what is in disorder and make what is already good better. It is possible that you can manage if you are careful. People are very tough. People can survive through much pain and loss. But to persevere, they must see the good in being. If they lose that, they are truly lost. Welcome to Flourish. I'm Diane Planidin, and you're in the right place if you're ready to create an inspired life. And we do so by working on our own personal development so we can be strong role models for those we love and mentor. Today is the last chapter in Jordan Peterson's best-selling book, 12 Rules for Life, An Antidote to Chaos. And it is a quirky little rule. Pet a cat if you see one in the street. I like that. And it got my interests kind of peaked there. I thought, well, what do you mean by that? Maybe a dog. It doesn't matter. The concept here, in my opinion, is that every now and then you have to slow down, smell the roses, look around you in wonder and awe and our state of being and how truly amazing it is. Really, really a beautiful planet we live on. So the 3 takeaways from this chapter is a little bit different, a little bit of a twist. I'm really not going to talk about cats and dogs. What I am going to talk about is number 1 takeaway was to set aside some time to think. Ideally, you want to set aside this time when things are going really well. And what you maybe want to think about is, okay, when chaos enters, when something goes sideways we weren't expecting, when the markets crash, when our house burns down, whatever that might be ready for disaster relief, disaster recovery. I mean, that could be something as simple as thinking, okay, are our computers backed up? Do we have a plan B? Do we have enough money saved? Much easier to think of those things when you are not under stress. And actually, Peterson says, when the sun is shining and times are good and the crops are bountiful, you can make your plans for the next month and the next year and the next 5 years. You can even dream a decade ahead. But you can't do that when your leg is clamped firmly in a crocodile's jaw. Yes, it is so difficult to think clearly, plan clearly when you're under duress. And sometimes you don't even know the stress and duress you're under until it's too late. So I like that plan, to think ahead. When things are going well for you, take a moment and reflect. Maybe take some notes. It might make a difference. The second takeaway is to aim high and wish upon a star. Now, you probably realize by now that Peterson loves the fairy tale metaphors, and he's just riddled throughout this book. Specifically, he does reference back to Geppetto and Pinocchio. And if you're familiar with that story, well, Geppetto did wish upon a star, and he aimed high because he wanted that little boy. Peterson says, once you are aligned with the heavens, you can concentrate on the day. Yes, so if you aim high and with your eyes wide open, reaching for the stars, understand you might have to stop at the moon on your way to the stars. Understand there's going to be 2 steps forward, 1 step back sometime. Understand that the unknown is still out there. But that's why you have to think, right? You have to think, okay, this is really where I want to aim my sights. Let's think about that. Let's take some time. Things are good right now. What's the next goal? How am I going to reach it? How am I going to get there? What am I going to aim at? Because what you aim at expands. What you desire, what your dream is within your reach. It's within your grasp. You have to think and plan, come up with a strategy. That's always nice to have too. But when you wish upon a star, I think that's just so sweet to aim high. And then the third takeaway actually comes from the part of the conclusion that he does in this book, but it's to seek peace. And what I mean by that is he talks about when you're dealing with conflict or in a relationship or at work, whatever that might be, sometimes seeking peace is a little bit more reasonable than having to be right, than having to bully and push your way forward. Sometimes when you take a step back, take a more peaceful approach, you have to decide, do you want to be right or do you want to have peace? Which one will reach a more, say, happy medium for the greater good? That type of thing. So, rule number 12, take time to think, especially if things are going your way right now and you're not under a lot of stress. A lot of people are under a lot of stress, whether it's what's going on in the world politically, globally, tragedy, personally. We deal with a lot as humans, but boy, we can handle a lot. And if we can think ahead for disaster relief, setback, what's going to happen, then as you're wishing upon that star, as you're aiming high, you have a plan B. If things don't go as planned, if you go over budget, if somebody does something and you trusted them, you hadn't planned for that, then as you're making that journey, rather than, grabbing the bull by the horns all the time, do you have to be right? Or would you like to live in peace? Because your stress level will stay a lot lower if you can stay in peace. That's for sure. And funny thing is things have a way of working out. Things have a way of turning out for the better. Things always come together. We're survival species, that's for sure. But I wanted to quote in Peterson's conclusion. He quotes the scripture. Ask, and it shall be given to you. Seek, and ye shall find. Knock, and it shall be open unto you. For everyone who asks, receive. The one who seeks, finds. And to the one who knocks, the door will be open. That's from Matthew. Yeah, and that is a very well-known verse, but think about how long that was written, and it is still true today. So try and build yourself up. Aim for the stars. Shoot for the moon. You're going to hit a star, hey? It is such a beautiful way to live when you can feel that strength within you, when you build yourself up, when we build each other up, because we're all here to serve. I hope you've enjoyed the 12 Rules for Life. I know I really enjoyed getting into the details of this book, and I hope that I've helped you lead a more inspired life.